Picture a gorgeous sunny day, blue skies, birds chirping in the trees. Refreshing spray of water cools you off from the hot sun. You're paddling along a gorgeous blue river in your very own kayak. All your worries and troubles are floating along down the river, as all your focus is on where you're going and what you're doing. Hi, I'm Nathan Morton. I'm here to talk to you about how to get started in the amazing sport of kayaking. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the various types of kayaking, as well as the different designs of kayaks and how they are structured to fit those types of kayaking, and some of the basic safety tips that you're going to need to know before you get started. Now, you may be sitting here thinking, I don't think whitewater kayaking is really for me. That seems a little too crazy. Well, I'm here to tell you there's many different types of kayaking, and I'm sure we'll find one that's right for you. There's mainly 4 different types of kayaking. There's whitewater kayaking, which is designed for those adrenaline junkies out there. It's really focused on making quick turns and being able to stay upright in rushing rapids. Usually it's only over short distances though. For ocean kayaking, it's really designed for open water, where you're going to be traveling long distances. It's also restricted, obviously, based on where you live. You can't really be doing ocean kayaking if you're living in Kansas or in the middle of the country somewhere. You can do ocean-style kayaking, though, on a larger lake or something along those lines. Fishing is another way to use kayaking, and they have kayaks designed specifically for that. With fishing kayaks, you're really trying to get to locations on a lake that are hard to access by other means. So, one other nice thing about fishing kayaks is going to be usually they're not going to disturb the water very much, which can scare fish away. Recreational style kayaks are kind of the all-around kayak. They do a little bit of everything, but they're really not a master of one specific type of thing. They're great for beginners though, because maybe you're not really sure which type of kayaking you really want to get into, but you just want to try a little bit of everything. These are the type of kayaks that are probably the best for a family or someone that wants to take fishing trips, but also hit a little bit of a rapids, or even go out on a camping trip on a lake. So now that you know the different types of kayaking, let's talk about how the kayaks change in shape and design to fit those styles of kayaking. For whitewater kayaking, we talked about it being able to make quick turns. To do this, those kayaks are designed to be somewhat shorter. This allows them to turn more quickly. They're also wider. By being wider, it allows them to stay more upright when you're going through rushing rapids, less likely to tip over. Ocean kayaks are designed to go over long distances. When you're traveling a long distance, you want to be able to go more quickly through open water. To accomplish this, their kayaks are designed to be much more narrow. By being more narrow, they cut through the water much more quickly and can go much faster. This does restrict them from being able to turn very easily though, but usually in open water, you pick your direction and you head that way, and you're not doing a lot of turning. For fishing kayaks, stability is key. The idea of casting a fishing line while you're on a kayak, you don't want to accidentally tip over. So their kayaks are usually much wider. This doesn't make them very efficient going through the water at high speeds, but usually with fishing, you want to get to your location and then you're going to stay there. They're also usually a lot deeper. They sit down lower in the water. That way you can put some gear, such as a tackle box, or maybe even a cooler full of beer. Recreational style kayaking is more of the all-around, like we said. With this, they're usually a little bit narrower than a whitewater kayak, allowing them to go faster on open water, but they're also a little bit shorter than an ocean kayak. This allows them to turn a little bit as well, too. Not as much as a whitewater, but still able to get some pretty good turns in. They're also usually a little bit deeper than a whitewater kayak or an ocean kayak. This is a way you can carry stuff like camping equipment, or maybe even a picnic lunch. Now that we've gone over the different types of kayaking and how those kayaks are designed, you might be thinking to yourself, I'm ready to get out there. This sounds like fun. Hold up a second. First, you want to get over some of the basic safety tips. Brandon Schuler of Southern Sports Journal recommends that safety is the utmost concern in and it should always be at the forefront of any kayaker's mind. One of the things you're going to want is a flotation device. Even for someone that's an expert swimmer, you always want to have a safety valve. You never know what's going to happen. It's best to have a flotation device like a life preserver. Also, you're always going to want to go with someone. If something bad does happen, at least you have somebody else there to be able to help you out. Or if something bad happens for both of you, you can work together to get out of a bad situation. If you can't find someone to go with you and you're going to go kayaking by yourself, always let someone know where you're going and when you expect to be back. The best thing to do, too, is make sure you set a plan before you go. Take a good look at a map or even bring it with you. Also, you're going to want a communication device of some sort, whether it be a phone or a two-way radio with somebody else, maybe back at your campsite. This way, if something happens, you can always reach somebody. If you're out of cell phone range or you don't have a radio, also make sure you leave a note. Put a note on your car, something that says where you're going, which route you're supposed to be taking, as well as what time to be back. Now that we've learned some of the safety basics, let's kind of go over what we've talked about so far and recap everything. We talked about the different types of kayaking, from ocean kayaking, long distances over open water, to whitewater kayaking for the adrenaline junkies, short distances, and rushing rapids. We talked about fishing and being able to get into hard to reach places, but still being stable enough to cast that line right where you want it. And then we talked about recreational kayaking, the all-around type of kayaking. Great for beginners because you can try a little bit of everything with that type of kayak. Donovan Webster of Outside Magazine recommends beginners should always take a lesson first. This way, you have someone that's an expert that teach you all the safety basics, as well as help you figure out which type of kayaking is best for you. First thing you want to do, when you take your lesson and you get out kayaking for the first time, figure out exactly what type you want to do. Try a little bit of everything. Once you find that type and you get out there, get out on the water, have a great time, and enjoy everything that Mother Nature has to offer.